In the heart of Los Angeles, the Cecil Hotel stands as a monument to a darker side of the city's history. Its walls have witnessed countless tragedies, but none as perplexing as the disappearance of Elisa Lam. In January 2013, the 21-year-old Canadian student embarked on a solo trip across the west coast of the United States. Her blog, filled with hopes and anxieties, painted a picture of a bright, curious young woman venturing out to find herself. Her final destination was Santa Cruz, but she never made it. Her journey began with excitement. Documented through photos and posts, she visited the San Diego Zoo, explored the city, and seemed to be enjoying her adventure. On January 26th, she arrived in Los Angeles and checked into the Cecil Hotel. For a few days, she was just another tourist in a bustling city. She bought books at a local shop, souvenirs for her family, and kept in daily contact with her parents back in British Columbia. Then, on January 31st, the calls stopped. Silence. Her parents, knowing her dedication to calling home every day, immediately sensed something was wrong. They reported her missing, and the Los Angeles Police Department launched an investigation. They searched her hotel room, but her belongings, her wallet ID, and laptop were all there. There was no sign of a struggle. Nothing to suggest she had been forced to leave. It was as if she had simply vanished into thin air. Police and hotel staff scoured the building and the surrounding area, but every lead turned into a dead end. Elisa Lam was gone. As days turned into weeks, the case grew colder. Desperate for a breakthrough, the LAPD made a decision that would turn this local missing person case into a global internet phenomenon. On February 13th, they released a video. It was a 4-minute clip of grainy surveillance footage from one of the Cecil Hotel's elevators, recorded on the last day Elisa was seen. The video was strange, unsettling, and it captured the world's imagination. In the footage, Elisa enters the elevator and presses several buttons. The doors don't close. She peeks out into the hallway, looking left and right, then quickly steps back inside, pressing herself against the wall, as if hiding from someone. She steps out again, looks around, and then begins a series of bizarre, almost theatrical hand gestures. Her movements are fluid, yet unnatural. At one point, she seems to be talking to someone just out of frame, but no one else is visible. Finally, she walks away, and the elevator doors, which had remained mysteriously open the entire time, suddenly close and begin to function normally. The video went viral. Millions of people watched it, each with their own theory. Was she being pursued? Was she playing a game? Was she under the influence of something? The internet became a breeding ground for speculation, with online detectives dissecting every frame, every gesture. Some suggested she was hiding from a stalker, while others pointed to the hotel's haunted history, believing a paranormal force was at play. The video was so eerie, so inexplicable, that it felt like a scene from a horror film. But this was real life, and a young woman was still missing. While the world was captivated by the elevator video, a new problem was emerging back at the Cecil Hotel. Guests began to complain about low water pressure. Then, the water started to taste strange and had a dark, unusual color. On the morning of February 19th, nearly 3 weeks after Elisa's disappearance, a maintenance worker was sent to investigate the hotel's rooftop water tanks. He climbed a ladder, unlocked the heavy lid of the main tank, and peered inside. There, floating in the murky water, he found the body of Elisa Lam. The discovery answered the question of where Elisa was, but it opened up a floodgate of new, more disturbing questions. How did she get up to the roof? The rooftop was supposed to be a restricted area, with locked doors and an alarm system. How did she get inside the massive water tank? The lid was so heavy that the maintenance worker struggled to open it himself. And most importantly, how did she die? The initial autopsy report only deepened the mystery, finding no signs of physical trauma or assault. The official coroner's report eventually ruled her death as an accidental drowning, with her bipolar disorder listed as a significant contributing factor. Elisa had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and depression, and she was taking several medications to manage her condition. The report suggested that she might have been experiencing a psychotic episode, which could explain her strange behavior in the elevator and her subsequent actions. It's possible that, In a state of confusion or paranoia, she sought refuge on the roof and somehow managed to get into the water tank, where she tragically drowned. This official explanation, however, failed to satisfy many of the online sleuths who had followed the case so closely. They pointed out inconsistencies. If she was having an episode, how did she bypass the locked, alarmed rooftop doors? Hotel staff later clarified that the alarm wasn't always active and the door wasn't always locked, but this detail did little to quell the speculation. How could she have lifted the heavy tank lid and closed it from the inside? The coroner noted the lid was open when the body was found, but this contradicted the maintenance worker's initial statement. Furthermore, her toxicology report showed she had taken her prescribed medication, but it seemed the levels of some drugs in her system were lower than expected, suggesting she may have been under-medicating in the days leading up to her death. This could have triggered the manic episode. For many, the accidental drowning conclusion felt too simple, a neat bow on a case that was anything but. The story of Elisa Lam is a modern tragedy, amplified by the internet. It's a story about mental health, the loneliness of solo travel, and the power of a mystery to capture the public's imagination. The Cecil Hotel, now rebranded, still carries the weight of her story. The case serves as a poignant reminder of the struggles many face in silence. Elisa Lam went searching for adventure, but instead, she became the center of a mystery that continues to haunt and fascinate us to this day. Her story is a heartbreaking tale of a life cut short, leaving behind more questions than answers, and a chilling video that will forever be etched in the annals of internet lore. Thanks for watching. If you've got your own theory, drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. And see you on the next Unsolved Mystery, only here on Forgotten Clues.